Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. So as you guys know, the Lakers played against the Utah Jazz last night. And they found a way to win that game. They really pulled away in that fourth quarter. I watched the majority of the game. It was pretty much nip and tuck throughout the first three quarters. And in that fourth quarter, the Lakers were able to gain some separation, make some plays. The Jazz couldn't make any plays. And then ultimately they came away victorious from that game. But look, the Utah Jazz are a bad team, right? And the Lakers, I got to say, we've had a favorable schedule to start the season. We play some pretty garbage teams quite a bit. Now, after that game, the Lakers are now the number 3 seed in the Western Conference, winning 7 out of their last 10. And are currently on a 2-game winning streak. So the next opponent that the Lakers are going to be facing are the Clippers, who absolutely suck. And then we have the Phoenix Suns again. That should be theater, given what's going on with LeBron and Dillon Brooks. And then, of course, we have the Houston Rockets, which should be a solid test there. And then, of course, we have the Kings and the Pistons and the Grizzlies that we're going to be playing back to back. So you have that there, right? But then something interesting happened. Mitch sent over an article today. And it had the following headline from Heavy.com, and it states, Lakers JJ Redick drops true feelings on Luka Doncic's defense. And I'm like, here we go again, because this has been a real point of contention over the last few days now, is the Lakers' poor defense and Luka Doncic and all of that. All right, so let's get right into this report. It says the Los Angeles Lakers may have escaped at Salt Lake City with a 133-135 win over the Utah Jazz on Sunday, but their defensive issues were much too apparent. In the first half, Los Angeles conceded a whopping 78 points as Luka Doncic and co allowed the home team to score at will with little to no resistance. The Jazz shot a mind-blowing 63% from the field in the first half, including 59% from the three. And as the home team outscored the Lakers 78-73 after 2 quarters, the Lakers were much better defensively in the second half, holding the Jazz to 40% shooting from the three and outscoring them 70-57 to come away with the victory. Luka Doncic's defense a concern. Although Doncic finished with a 45-point triple-double, he admitted that he could have played a little bit better, especially on the defensive end. I think, honestly, I can do much more, Doncic said after finishing with 45 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and I think he also had 5 steals and a solitary turnover. But I think that one turnover is the best stat-wise on the stat sheet. We had 7 turnovers, which is impressive for us, and we won the game. And then it continues on a little bit further down to what the coach says, that JJ Redick addresses Doncic. Redick admitted after Thursday's win that Doncic was not as engaged on defense at various points in the game, especially in the first half. He has stretches of playing excellent, being engaged and executing our stuff defensively, and the stretches where he is not as engaged isn't executing our stuff defensively, Redick said on Doncic via Dave McMenamin on ESPN. Then it continues on. He said, but I would say that for everybody, I think the biggest thing, he plays certainly well enough to lead us to a win. Him and LeBron with 24 assists and 3 turnovers. And then it went on to say a few other things there. What are my thoughts about this? I think we're going down a slippery slope here. And I think JJ Redick needs to be careful. Yes, it's important that you want your best player to play well, to improve, especially in areas that will help the team be successful. But let's not kid ourselves here. Before the Lakers pulled the trigger on this blockbuster trade for Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic, it was no secret that Luka was not a great defensive player. Defense wasn't the reason that the Dallas Mavericks got sour on Luka. The number one reason the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic fell out of favor with them was because of his conditioning. That was the problem area for the Mavs. For the Lakers instead, they needed a young, bona fide superstar to lead their franchise into the future. And they got exactly that with Luka Doncic, who by the way, this season, as we're sitting here speaking, is averaging 35 points per game on 46% shooting from the field, 32% from 3, 81% from the free throw line, and getting you 8.8 rebounds, 9.1 assists per game. and 1.7 steals per game, right? So Luka is delivering as terms of an offensive player, rebounder, playmaker. He's doing that. So I think the Lakers and the coaching staff of these guys need to be careful to stop criticizing this guy too much on defense, because that was never his calling card, number one. And number two, you knew this already. Number three, the Dallas Mavericks already gave you the blueprint of how Luka Doncic should be successful, which is to build the right unit around him with great defenders to kind of shield him. And if you can do that, your team can compete in the NBA Finals and give him a second bona fide scorer to play alongside with him. Luka addressed the major pain area, which is his nutrition and his conditioning. And you can see it not just from how he looks physically, but as you can also look at it from the minutes played per game. Last year, he was playing 35 minutes a game. This year, he's playing 37 minutes a game. So he's actually playing more minutes as a result to him improving his conditioning. But if the Lakers feel that Luka Doncic improving as a defensive player is going to solve their problems, they're sadly mistaken. Instead of spending so much time worrying about whether or not Luka is going to be a great defender, which he never will be, why don't you spend more time going out there and getting players that you could put around him to help build on what you have? That would make more sense to me than all of this nonsense that we're talking about. Luka is never going to be a great defender. He has never shown that. Some people are not great defenders. Nikola Jokic is not a great defender. Just like Giannis is a great defender, he can score, but he's not a great perimeter shooter, nor will he ever be. You got to know the personnel that you have and build around it. That's the same thing the Milwaukee Bucks did when the Bucks went on to win the championship in 2021. But this thing of constantly griping about, oh, Luka doesn't play defense, Luka, it's not going to change. And if that's your answer, you feel like it's going to solve the problem. No, you need a great defensive team, and the Lakers can solve these issues. But this thing of constantly pointing at Luka, like, I don't like that. Yes, you want your best player to be, to do the best that he can and all of that, but you can't ask people to do things that they have no history of doing. That's what I'm saying. You can't ask him to do things he has no history. He's just not that kind of player, nor is the Joker. You look at Giannis, top 3-5 player in the world. Shooting is not his forte. But he's a hell of a player. You can win with him. We've seen that if you put the right pieces around him. So I think that's what the Lakers need to do. And they need to stop doing so much of this damn virtue signaling. Oh, baby, Luka ain't got to play defense. Because Luka going to solve the fact that the Lakers are giving up 117 points per game if he plays better defense. Man, let's knock it off. They need to play better defense as a team. They do have some great defenders who they seldom give minutes, like Jared Vanderbilt. Marcus Smart, who was taken out of the start. That's that. Before LeBron's return, the Lakers were giving up 109 points per 100 possessions. Now they're giving up 117 per 100 possessions. When Marcus Smart, you had defenders. So let's knock it off with all of this. Luka needs to do this. Luka is doing his part. And I'm not expecting miracles from a guy that never performed any. Luka is not a great defender. We all know this. Let's stop waiting for something that's never going to happen. Let's get into this topic here. So yesterday, the Lakers played against the Utah Jazz for what seems like, I don't know, the 10th time they played. It seems like the Lakers have played the Jazz like 100 times already this season. But this for sure got to be at least a third or fourth time that the Lakers played the Jazz. Now, prior to this game starting, we were actually doing a live talking about Dalton Connect and, of course, Bronny James. So towards the end of the live, as the game was starting, I said, I'm going to go watch the game. And I said, I fully expect the Lakers to win this game, right? I fully expect them to win this game. And that's exactly what happened. Now, the way that they did it, I must say, is a bit embarrassing. The Lakers scored 143 points, but somehow, some way found a way to give up 135 points, which is just a dark omen for just how bad this team's defense is. As things currently stand, the Lakers are the 15th ranked. No. Sorry, that was last year. Let's talk about this year's team. As things currently stand, they're the number 22 ranked defense in the NBA. They're the number 20th in terms of opponents' points scored. They're giving up 117.4. The last time I checked this stat a few days ago, they were giving up 116.8. So somehow They're giving up more points per game. Offensively, they're the number 6 rated team, and points per game, they're number 9. But their defense is just absolutely horrendous. And essentially, what's happening for the Lakers is that for them to win, they're essentially outscoring their opponents. That's literally what's happening here, and that's what happened last night. So let's go to the box score. In yesterday's, he did take way too many threes. He shot 4-12, but he made 4 of them. And he shot overall 50% from the floor, attempting 28 shots to get 45 points. And as I walked away from this game, I'm like, yo, this dude is out here carrying these people. Now, granted, Luka had a box plus minus of -5. LeBron had a box plus minus of -6 and all of that. These guys are not playing great defense. Austin, that's why if you look at the guys that came on the floor that had a positive box plus minus, the other guys who were playing defense. The guys who were playing defense actually had the highest box plus minus. Marcus Smart, who had 17 points, his box plus minus was 12. Jared Vanderbilt, who came off the bench and gave him 7 points, his box plus minus was 15. And Maxi Kleber gave him some good minutes. Apparently, his box plus minus was 17. So I then decided, okay, let me look at the stats of these guys, right? So let's look at LeBron's stats this season. And LeBron is trying to get his number to 20 points per game. You can see that. So this season, LeBron is averaging 18.6 points per game in 10 games, 47% from the field, 26% from 3, 69% from the free throw line, getting you 7.5 assists per game, 5.5 steals. 5.8 rebounds, with a box plus minus of -2. Somehow, some way, the Lakers are -2 with this guy on the floor in aggregate. Okay, Luka, on the other hand, is averaging 35 points per game, 46% shooting from the field, 32% from 3, 81% from the free throw line, getting 9.1 assists, 8.8 rebounds, 1.7 steals. And his box plus minus on the year is 3.4. And as I'm sitting here saying this to myself, I'm like, when did Michael Jordan ever play with somebody that's averaging 35? Can you imagine if Jordan was playing on the Bulls with somebody that's averaging 35 points per game? Or Kobe that was playing on the Lakers after he got injured and all that, he was playing with somebody that can put up 35 points a game. This dude is out here getting carried. Like, the report is that Luka is having back pains from carrying a 6'9", 260-pound forward on his back. He's carrying this dude. Literally. His numbers almost doubled his offensive output the other night. These are insane. 45-point triple-double. And I understand Luka Doncic became the first player, I think, since 1980 or something like that. I forgot. I saw the stat from the Laker Instagram page. And like the last, 30 years to have a 40-point triple-double? These are just insane numbers. And in all of this, LeBron is actually being carried on this guy's back all throughout. Like, anybody watching this, you know that LeBron is along for the ride at this point, bro. Like, y'all know that. And of course, the elephant in the room is we still haven't answered the question of what's going to happen with Austin Reeves when he returns. Because if you think the Lakers are bad now, wait till Reeves gets back. They're going to be horrible. You're giving up 135 points to the Jazz, and we don't see the problem with this. What the Lakers need to be doing right now is limiting their liabilities. Granted, Luka is not a great defensive player. Reeves is not a great defensive player. LeBron isn't a great defensive player in his late stages of his career, but LeBron hasn't made an all-defensive team since he was 30 years old. The Lakers not extending LeBron in this summer, they're at least removing one issue, right? And then now you can now replace him with a better defender on the team. And then you now have to solve the issue with Luka and Austin Reeves. But I don't think Luka has to be a great defender for this team to be successful. I don't really think so. They're championship Laker teams that have won championships with certain players having certain deficiencies. One of them was Shaq's late game free throw shooting. He wasn't a great free throw shooter. He would shoot 50% from the field, but you had Kobe Bryant that would come up there and really carry the team when Shaq was, the hack of Shaq was going on. You had that. You had players like Allen Iverson who made it to the finals. AI wasn't a defensive guy. but they built the right team around him. And number three, we've seen an iteration of a Luka team go to the finals where Luka wasn't the best defender. He played defense in spots, but he wasn't the best defender. But man, it's some devastating news, Laker Nation, for this injury, man. Severe back pains from carrying this dude up and down the court, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you know right now we're witnessing essentially a two-man MVP race. And the race is essentially between SGA, who is having another spectacular season, and Nikola Jokic. Now, I just want to quickly pull up SGA stats, right? Because I haven't looked at them in quite some time. I know his team stats, but I just want to pull up his individual numbers. So this year, he's averaging 32 points per game on 56% shooting from the field, 43% shooting from three, 88% shooting from the free throw line. He could potentially have a 50-40-90 season if he improves his free throw shooting, while getting you 4.5 rebounds a game, 6.5 assists per game, with only 1.9 turnovers or 1.4 steals. And get this, his blocks plus minus on the year in 25 games is 14. Oh my God. The guy's box plus minus is 14.4. To put that number into context, Luka Doncic's blocks plus minus is 3.4. It's 14.4. And his team has the best record in the NBA with a 25-2 record. Then you go to Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is averaging 29.6 points per game on 61% shooting from the field, 42% shooting from three, 84% shooting from the free throw line, 12.3 rebounds, 10.9 assists, 1.4 steals, and his box plus minus on the team is 10.4. Now, I want to give you some freaky numbers, and then we're going to get to the freakiest part of all of this. I can't even say it. It's so insane. Nikola Jokic is leading the NBA in assists with 10.9. He's also leading the NBA in rebounds. Let's just stop for a second. You have one player leading the NBA in assists and rebounds, and is top 5 in scoring, all in the same season. He's leading his team in rebounds, assists, and is a top 5 scorer with a box plus minus of 10. If you look at his team in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets are the number 2 seed. But that's not even the part that blew my mind. Forget about those numbers. The part that blew my mind that made us put the title that we put came from a video that I saw from Instagram reel from the channel Makeshift Hoops. Some of you know them, some of you don't know them. Great duo, these guys. And they were on there, and they were talking about who led the league in playoff points and all this in the last decade. And what they said blew my mind. So what we want to do now is I want you guys to sit down and listen to what what we're about to play. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what these guys have to say here.
Who has led the NBA this decade in each of these categories? First up, we have points.
Current decade points, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It's not Giannis.
It's Jokic.
Jokic has led the decade in points. Next, we move on to rebounds.
Rebounds in this decade gets a little tough for me. Is it also Nikola Jokic?
Nikola Jokic is the leader in rebounds. So we're 2 for 2 on Jokic.
That's a little ridiculous. I didn't expect that.
Next up, we have assists.
Assist comes down to a point guard that dishes.
You got the Lukas, the Trays of the world, maybe in that tier.
I was going to say Trae Young.
Volume, man. But it's not Trae.
Is it Nikola Jokic?
Nikola Jokic is the leader in assists as well.
Mike, this just isn't a fair fight right now.
Okay, now we're on to steals.
How is that possible? Is it because he stayed healthy?
You tell me.
It must be. Steals?
Steals.
This one is not Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic.
Mike, stop it.
Is leading the NBA in these 4 categories.
In steals?
No player in NBA history has led the NBA in these 4 categories in a decade. This guy is, you could argue, a top 10 player of all time today.
I mean, Mike, to lead those categories, people always say you can't compare eras. You have to go based off the era they're in. He's dominating this era, statistically and with MVPs.
So you heard what they had to say. Matter of fact, we're going to do something that we've never done before. I want y'all to listen to that again. Take a listen to that again.
Who has led the NBA this decade in each of these categories? First up, we have points.
Current decade points, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
It's not Giannis.
It's Jokic.
Jokic has led the decade in points. Next, we move on to rebounds.
Rebounds in this decade gets a little tough for me. Is it also Nikola Jokic?
Nikola Jokic is the leader in rebounds. So we're 2 for 2 on Jokic.
That's a little ridiculous. I didn't expect that.
Next up, we have assists.
Assist comes down to a point guard that dishes.
You got the Lukas, the Trays of the world, maybe in that tier.
I was going to say Trae Young.
Volume, man. But it's not Trey.
Is it Nikola Jokic?
Nikola Jokic is the leader in assists as well.
Mike, this just isn't a fair fight right now.
Okay, now we're on to steals.
How is that possible? Is it because he stayed healthy?
You tell me.
It must be. Steals?
Steals.
This one is not Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic
Mike, stop it.
is leading the NBA in these 4 categories.
In steals?
No player in NBA history has led the NBA in these 4 categories in a decade. This guy is, you could argue, a top 10 player of all time today.
I mean, Mike, to lead those categories, people always say you can't compare eras. You have to go based off the era they're in. He's dominating this era, statistically and with MVPs.
Did you hear what they said? This man is leading the decade in points, rebounds, assists, and steals? What? Did we just hear that right? He's leading the decade in points, rebounds, assists, which are like the 3 biggest categories in NBA stats: points, rebounds, and assists, and steals. At the 5 position. Do you know the most shocking part about all of this? Is the assists and the steals. The rebounds, you can get it. He's a 7-footer. But the assists and the steals? As we're sitting here speaking, he's leading the league in scoring, for goodness sake. Good Lord, dear God. In scoring. What? I mean, not in scoring. In what's the damn stat right now? That I just read from his excuse me. He's leading the league in assists right now and rebounds. Now, it's important to say that I don't have SGA as my MVP. I mean, Nikola Jokic is the MVP. I think SGA is still the MVP. 25-2, bro. With those type of numbers. Now, he ain't putting up rebounds numbers. He's not going to put up rebound numbers like that. Nikola Jokic is a different thing. But, bro, that kind of winning in these kind of numbers, and he's looking like he's going to average. Bro, MVP used to mean best player on the best team. And if it comes down to that definition, is SGA. But what we're seeing now, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. As you guys remember, when we got the news that LeBron was going to be out for the beginning of the season, missing training camp, preseason, and the first few games of the season, people like myself were very, very excited. And a lot of Laker fans were excited. Why? Because it became a time for us to finally root for the team. I've been a Laker fan since like 2002. And I haven't been able to support the team ever since Kobe Bryant left and his Joker got to the team. I just can't do it. And I can't stand his fans at all. But then once we heard that news and knowing that this is LeBron's final year with the Lakers, we just felt this sense of excitement, you know, and you could see it in some of the players. They were playing well. They were playing freely. They were winning games, and there was no real talk of drama. They were a better defensive team. The Lakers were giving up about 107 points per 100 possessions. They were just a great team. You had the Beach Boys out there. Austin Reeves was giving you 50 balls. Everything was going well, right? But of course, LeBron and his court and his supporters, they were in the corner. waiting to come back. And eventually they did come back. And at first, it became this kind of quiet thing. Oh, LeBron is behaving himself. He's not going to shoot much. This and this and this and this and this. Then he came back that first game, and everybody, oh, LeBron's adding this to the Lakers, although they played the ass-cheek Jazz. Oh, LeBron this. And the Lakers had no drama around him. And I remember, and I know this because we used to do lives and shows saying, doesn't it feel so refreshing to not have any drama and no storylines? Isn't it just great to just watch basketball? But then the inevitable return of LeBron James came. And slowly, the toxicity came back. His fans became more involved. The finger pointing came back. The blame game started. And the dark cloud is here now. And as I'm sitting here saying to myself, this dark cloud has been following this dude his entire career. And now is back again to see. Before LeBron's return, the Lakers were more exciting. They were winning games with no issue. The only real blemish was that blowout they had against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But apart from that, they were looking good. LeBron comes back. Then all of a sudden, Rich Paul, the agent of chaos, came out there and started making comments about, oh, the Lakers, they don't know how to run the organization. They're not a championship organization. Then he started making public recommendations for Austin Reeves, who's not his client, who's on a contract here to go to the bench. Then all of a sudden, we started this conversation of, is it Austin Reeves? Is it LeBron James? Who should start? Then now, all of a sudden, there's this big conversation around defense. Luka's defense is this. Luka's defense is that. But Luka's defense has been what it's been since the beginning of the season. He hasn't gotten any better or worse. So why are we talking about this all of a sudden now? Because of this dude. What none of these jokers would tell you is that Luka's box plus minus on the season is 3.4. What's LeBron's? -2. -0.2. It's his box plus minus. What won't they tell you? The Lakers were giving up 107 points per game per 100 possessions. Since he's returned, they're giving up 107 points per game per 100 possessions. But now they want to have a conversation about defense. Now we want to have all of these, oh, is Luka this, is Luka that. Even the coach is buying into it. And it all started with the return of this dude. It all did. Is this cloud that follows LeBron from every team that he goes to. Inevitably, at one point or another, there must be somebody that must be held accountable for his shortcomings. And now the person that they're trying to target is Austin Reeves. And if things don't work out, it's because of Austin. This is where we are. And of course, you have his media guys running around. Hey, man, LeBron ain't supposed to be playing defense. LeBron. Yes, that's the reason why the Lakers don't want him anymore. Yes. The thing you're talking about is the very reason the Lakers did not extend him. If he's given a team such a premium, as you guys seem to say, why are they not extending his contract? Why during a media week or media day, when they were speaking to Rob Pelinka and they asked him directly about LeBron's contract, and he basically said, I've said all I have to say about it. If you want to know more information about it, go ask LeBron James. This is a reoccurring pattern, not just perennially, but at every destination going back to Cleveland and Miami and Cleveland and LA. Now all of a sudden we're talking, oh, is Luka going to do this? Is Luka going to do that? Luka carrying LeBron this season, bro. In case you ain't know, son just had a 45-point triple-double. The last Laker that did that was like 30 years ago. In case you ain't know. In case you ain't know. You don't get to play with somebody averaging 35 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, 9 assists, and talk about that dude, and you're averaging less than 20 points per game. You don't get to talk. You don't get to have conversations. What Luka's giving you, shut the up. Because you're not giving the team that. You're not. But instead, all you want to talk about, oh, it's the same pattern. And if you point it out, oh, man, LeBron James, man, you hate LeBron James, man. Nah, we calling it out because you dudes won't. You won't. These are the facts. And now you got dudes scheming in the background. Oh, yeah, man. What Dreamers Pro gonna do? What Dreamers Pro gonna do? With LeBron James gone? You see these videos we've been doing, dogs? You think my goal is to stay in this sports media twerking it up with you here? You gatekeeping. You think that's my goal? You seen some of them politics? You seen LeBron name on them videos? You seen his name anywhere? You see how some of them is doing? Like, what are we talking about here? I already seen the play. Oh, man, what LeBron gonna do when Dreamers play? Yeah, I see you. I see y'all. Because we're one of the few platforms that refuses to twerk. Oh, man, all you do is hate. All you do is cover up for this dude. Now we're going to have conversations about Luka Doncic. Last year, Luka was fat. He lost the weight. Now what? His defense. When have you ever known Luka to play defense? When? Then if it wasn't Luka, AD's not aggressive enough. If it's not this guy, Darvin Ham is not smart enough. If it's not Darvin, Frank Vogel is not there. If it's not him, it's Luka, it's Russell Westbrook. If it's not him, it's this guy. It's always somebody else. It's always somebody else. And there must be drama. Now all of a sudden we were not having these conversations at the beginning of the year, and the Lakers look better then. The numbers say so, quite literally. The team is qualitatively worse defensively. Qualitatively worse. You add a 40-year-old who's a poor defender to a team that already has poor defenders, they're going to get worse. But the problem is no one is giving up Luka and no one is giving up Reeves. So he's the odd man out. But now somehow the conversation has been, Reeves need to go to the bench. What Rich Paul said, now everybody else saying it. Where were all of these he need to go to the bench talk before he got here? Even the joy that the team used to play with don't even look like they have it no more. I just think it's crazy. But y'all playing, Dreamers Pro not going to be here. All right, we're going to see. Next year going to be a painful year for y'all when y'all see the stuff we got planned. It ain't going to work out the way y'all think. It's not. Sorry to break it to you. I know you LeBron fans are sitting in the corner beating your meat to the idea, Dreamers Pro going to be going with LeBron going. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to check back at the end of December next year, and we're going to look at the numbers and see.